All right, today we're going to tackle a huge problem, one that traps so many traders, candlestick patterns. But we're not just going to look at them, oh no. We're going to completely change how you see them. We're moving away from those simple, often misleading signals and building a powerful, three-part strategy to understand what the market is actually trying to tell you. Let's dive right in.
So, let me ask you something and be honest. Have you ever been in this exact situation? You've done all your homework, you're glued to the charts, and you get that little rush, that feeling of excitement because you think, yes, I found it, the perfect setup.
And there it is, right on your screen. A picture-perfect textbook candlestick pattern. You know, maybe it's one of those long wick candles showing a sharp rejection of prices, and it's happening right at a major support or resistance level. It looks absolutely flawless.
So what do? You do what any trader would do in that spot. You pull the trigger. You jump into the trade, confidence is sky high, and you're already starting to calculate the profits in your head. And then, it happens. The market kind of pauses for a second and then just completely blows right through your position, going the exact opposite way. That perfect setup just turned into a fast, painful loss. You, my friend, have just been trapped. And that right there is the exact problem we're going to solve today.
But hey, the good news is there is absolutely a way to avoid this trap. And it's not about finding more patterns or some magic indicator. It's about building a solid framework. So let's break down this three-part solution that separates the pros from the folks who get caught time and time again. First things first, we need a huge mindset shift. I want you to start thinking of it this way. A candlestick pattern is not a command. It's not yelling, buy now or sell now. Instead, it's just a question the market is asking. It's asking, hey, are sellers really in control here? Or maybe, is this support level actually going to hold? Your job is not to guess the answer. It's to be patient and wait for the market to give you the answer. So here's the absolute core of it all. A truly high-quality trade needs three things to line up. First, you have the signal. That's your candlestick pattern. Second, you need context. That pattern has to show up at a really important price level, like a major support or resistance zone. And third, and this is the part almost everyone misses, you need confirmation. You have to see real evidence of a trend change after that signal appears. A pattern on its own? It's basically useless. Okay, so let's dig into those signals a bit deeper. How do we actually tell the difference between a market that's just asking a question and one that's giving us a clear, confident answer? Let's use a super common signal, the long wick candle. You see, that long wick tells a story. It's the story of a battle. One side, let's say buyers, tried to shove the price way up, but the other side just slammed it right back down. What you're looking at is pure indecision. It is absolutely not a confirmation of anything. And this is where it all clicks into place. On the left, you've got that long wick candle. That's the market's question. It signals potential. It shows us a fight is going on. But on the right, you have the momentum candle. That, my friends, is the answer. It's a big, strong, decisive candle that screams that one side has clearly won the battle. There's no indecision there, only conviction. We wait for the question, but we trade the answer. All right, now we're getting into a technique that will really take your trading to the next level. Waiting for that big momentum candle is a great step up. But what if I told you there's a way to get in even earlier with even less risk? This is what separates the pros from everyone else. See, the standard approach has a big problem. By the time that huge, obvious confirmation candle finally closes on your main chart, say your daily or 4-hour chart, a huge chunk of the move has already happened. You end up getting in late, which means you're automatically taking on more risk for less potential profit. It's not ideal. So here's the secret. The second you see that initial signal, that question, pop up on your main, higher time frame chart, you don't just sit and wait. You immediately zoom in. You drop down to a much lower time frame, maybe the 15-minute or even the 5-minute chart. And on that zoomed-in view, you can see the actual nuts and bolts of the trend change happening in real time. It lets you spot the very beginning of the new move. And the benefits of doing this are just massive. It's a total game changer. By finding your entry on that lower time frame, you get in so much earlier. That means you capture way more of the move, which boosts your profits. And because your entry is so much more precise, you can use a much tighter stop loss. And what does that mean? It means you drastically cut down your risk if a trade goes against you. So as we bring this all together, I hope it's clear that this isn't just about learning a new trick or a new technique. It's about a complete and total shift in your mindset. It's about evolving from a reactive pattern hunter into a patient, evidence-based trader. Look, if you only remember one thing from this entire explainer, please let it be this formula: signal plus context plus confirmation. Just burn that into your brain. A beautiful candlestick pattern means absolutely nothing without the right context and without clear, undeniable confirmation. Acting on the signal alone is the #1 reason traders get trapped, period.
Let this be your new mantra. Seriously. The amateur trader is always hunting. They're frantically flipping through charts, desperate to find the next pattern to jump on. The professional trader, totally different. They're patient, they know their key levels, and they simply wait for the market to come to them and provide the evidence they need. So stop hunting and start waiting.
So we've laid it all out for you. The entire framework is right here. You now have the knowledge you need to avoid those frustrating traps and start trading more like a professional. But the final piece of the puzzle, well, that comes down to you. Knowing the stuff is the easy part. Actually doing it day in and day out is hard. So you have the framework. The only question left is, do you have the discipline?